Agud v'chaboisai. What's your name? You've been here a bunch of times, no? Where are you from? Williamsburg. You were here, what, a year ago? You weren't here recently. Like a year ago? Yeah, okay. You like to daven long davenings, right? After davening's over? That's you? No, I'm here. I learn here. But yeah, I do. Mayor Weiss, doing the daf on student rotations. Scary stuff. I hope he doesn't put like a patient on there. No, it doesn't have to be sterile. Dear Eli, it is with great thanks that I reach out to you, gratitude and pride. My husband Mendel has been learning with you and lighting up our house since Brachas. Starting with the Sanhedrin and committed to daily continuous study is my father, who is learning Gemara inside for the first time in his life. At the same time, since day one of Sanhedrin, is my 10-year-old son Shlomo, who is also learning Gemara for the first time. He loves the relatable and interesting stories and clear way you explain everything. So does the rest of our family. He shares everything with us after each shir. You've got 3 generations right here. What an awesome schus. Sincerely, a proud wife, daughter, and mother. This one was not translated to English, so I'm going to do my best, but it's a very moving story. The Rebelli Ayakar. Today, Chof Aleph Adar is the yahrzeit of my grandfather, Shlomo Zalman ben Naftali Fruchter. And I dedicated the learning to his neshama. I started learning the daf with you in the beginning of Sanhedrin. On Friday, Gimel Shvat, my son, Shlomo Zalman, who was named after my grandfather, and was born in the year of the Avelos, he was in a motorcycle accident and he was nifter. If you remember, I came to the shir the day that I got up from Shiva. Of course I remember. Very, very moving. He came here we danced with the father at the Siyum. He came to the Siyum. And the next day he was sitting Shiva. So he says, since my son was nifter, your shir is one of the things that I hold on to, and it gives me an nechama. I say that the shir is Lili Nishmas, my son, every night. I hope to be Messiah, the very first Masechta since I came back learning the daf, whatever that means. Yeshukayach Gadol, Dubi Weiss. So it's unbelievable. There was a guy here on Friday, Zevi. He had a kid he had a daughter who was born like in the 6th, 7th month, and she was in the hospital for 3 months. She just got out, and he said the daf is what held him. The daf. MDY family Jeep representing Mishpacha from Lake Okeechobee, a geschmack way to spend Shabbos before it gets too hot outside in Florida. Some of the Olam Hazeh, I guess, I earned doing the daf. Because when you learn Torah, you get Olam Hazeh. Keep on dafing, my friends. Michael Chessel, and here's the back of his thing. You can see MDY family in the back of his Jeep. Gut Voch. This is from Avram Tekotsky. This past Wednesday, I had the chus to learn with the Reb Lazer Ginsburg in Mir Yeshiva, the famous Reb Lazer Ginsburg. Before we started, we schmoozed, and he tells me that he went matzah baking on Sunday at the 36th bakery in Borough Park. I guess that's our matzah bakery, Shimmy's bakery, maybe. Reb Lazer says about the workers in the matzah bakery, he does Stefansky. So I asked Reb Lazer, why did Stefansky's name come up in the bakery? He answered, when the Chabur walked in, the owner came over to Reb Lazer and said, we don't have just regular workers. Our workers are Loimdei Torah, and he pointed out, he does Stefansky. Reb Lazer was very impressed. Have a great week. And koyach to keep up your busy schedule, Avram Tekotsky. The Masechta is sponsored lirfo Shmuel Ben Chaya, Ettel, and Yosef Ben Chaya Sara, Alte Nechama by their great family. Anonymous Hatzlacha Borachis Begashmius. Larry Cohn and Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim yet to start learning Daf Yomi at age 70 and continued for 32 years. Anonymous for the unity of the Jewish people. Glenn Esterson, with love and gratitude from Wilmington, North Carolina. Thank you for enriching my life with Torah. Boysai. Don't forget the next Motzei Shabbos, the first shir starts at 10. Second shir at 11. Going to sleep at 12. Well, leaving here after 12. That's what's his name, Rabbi Einhorn's problem. Eli Stefansky Ben Moshe, Eli Stefansky Ben Yosef are the monthly sponsors. Binyomin Rosenfeld, Hatzlacha Ben Parnassah. Yosef Ben Chaya Sara, Hatzlacha Baruch's ובגשמיות. Eli has the fallen hostages. Ariel ben Shiri, Kfir ben Shiri, Shiri bat Margit. Parnassah Ben Voch, Ben Chana, and by Actualize. Chayil sponsor. The month, Yaakov ben Tzar, Mishpachta, the Baruch Hatzlacha. Daily sponsors, Ira Greenstein, Lili Rishmat, Uncle Charlie, Yechiel ben Tzvi Hirsch, Zechariah the Baruch on his Yosef, huh? Anyway, kids, monthly, innovations, Chus, for official, Elchanan, Akiva. Who's talking? It's you? What? Rivki and Mrs. Stefansky, Art of the Month, Lrefo Shleima, Yonatan Eitan Ben Basheva Bracha, Lrefo Shleima. For schus for Rebelli and the whole MDY staff that continue to make Torah so enjoyable, so many in honor of Yosef Klein and Margit for all the work they do. Yishkoyach for the Art of the Month. Rabbi, we have another very long. I got it to Daf, and it's just going to go on like this for another 3 weeks. If you love, I got the great. If you don't, still great. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 lines from the bottom. V'usaf shalalchem oisef echatzel. It says in the pasuk. Don't worry about it. I got to go over here for a second. Are we? Oh, oisef shalachem. Oisef echatzel kolecha v'echel atzmai. So it goes like this. Omer lem Novi Yisrael, Isvu shalalchem. The Novi told Klal Yisrael, now that's Sanhedrin, and we're going to talk about Sanhedrin, all the soldiers. How many soldiers died? Rabbi Sai. Here's a question before we even begin. You don't answer. You don't answer. Your grandfather can answer. How many people do we know and you don't answer? How many people? Yeah. There was a picture that was supposed to show of him cheating at a chasana, learning Torah at a chasana. But we know what he was doing over there. Okay. How many people like Kfir Saderach, Rabbi Isai? Michal's here. Wow. Shalom Aleichem, Michal. Michal Shields. How many people? Say some names. People that had Kfir Saderach. Huh? Yaakov. I said you can't answer. Next. He doesn't listen.
I don't even know what that is.
And you can't answer either. Huh? Eliezer.
Aaron, when he fought the king. Yeah?
No talking, no talking.
Aaron, when he fought the king. Maybe?
No. Okay, so we're going to have to see.
Then I don't know.
Oh! Who said that? It's funny. He said Baal Shem Tov. Somebody in the Hebrew Shir also said the same thing, and everybody started laughing. The Baal Shem Tov. He definitely, according to all the stories, he had the Kfir Saderach. The Vilna Gaon did not have Kfir Saderach. That I can tell you, because if he did, Reb Chaim Volozhin would have written about it. So it says like this: Isur Shalachim Omer Loi Liv Zoy Lachlik. You have all these dead soldiers, at least 185,000 generals that are dead. And there's loot. And he said, go take the loot. Amr loy, so the Jew said, liv zois oy lachlik. So one pshat in Rashi is, does everybody, whatever, finders keepers, or you have to divide it equally in Klal Yisrael? Amr lem koisev echatzel. Like when you gather the grasshoppers, what are they called? These guys. The locusts. Here's the locust. Rabbi Yisai, locust.
A Kenyan company called Bag Picture is mobilizing local communities to catch swarms of locusts that have been causing havoc for farmers in East Africa. They then turn them in. Dr. Matthew Gichea, who works in the Department of Animal Science, Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, says that experiments are still being done on the effects of the locust meals. But they already know locust-based feed is higher in protein than soy and fish used in some animal feed.
Some of them are kosher. So the question is, who gets to keep the locust? Whoever catches it. So maybe it's like locust. You catch it, you keep it. Ma Yosef echotzel kolechad vechad la'atzmoi, af shalachem kolechad vechad la'atzmoi. So to the loot. Right before Sanhedrin came to Yerushalayim, he got rid of the Aseret Shvatim. We said maybe he brought them to Africa, maybe to the Swiss Alps, but he took all their money. And so how could you go ahead and take the Aseret Shvatim's money? Omer lahem, Kemasha gave him shokik boy. It's like the river, the water. If you go into the mikveh, into these water, you become tar if you were tamei. When the non-Jew grabs the money from the war, it's interesting because if you notice, the Mitzrayim, they brought a lot of gold. There's a lot of gold on their chariots. What's going on? Why? Why would you bring gold? Why would you bring all your belongings? And the answer is because that motivates the soldiers. When they know that if they don't win, they're going to lose all their money and their wife and children at home are not going to have any money, so they go all out. So they bring all their money with them to war. So there's a tremendous amount of loot. So the Gemara says once there's loot, the non-Jew takes the loot from the Jew, that's it becomes his. So all Aseret Shvatim's loot became the guy. How did the Jews have the right to take from Ammon and Moav? You're not allowed to take their loot. Because once Sichon grabbed the loot from Ammon and Moav, it became Sichon's, and then the Jews took from Sichon. Sanhedrin stopped at 10 places in one day. We're going to see, it should have taken him 10 days, it took him only one day. Here, ayis, migroin, lemichmosh, yafkid kelev, that's 3. Avru ma'bara, how many is that? It seems like it's 1. Avru ma'bara, they crossed ma'bara, but the Gemara later is going to say, these are 2 different places. Avru is 1, ma'bara is 2. Geva malayin lanu, they came to Geva malayin, charad harama, Giva shol, nasa. Sa'ali koilach bas galim, so the Gemara is going to say that this is not really a place, but we're counting is it a place. Hakshiv li yasho, ani anosos. Nodado madmeino, yoshvi agevim heizu. So these are all a bunch of places. How many do we have? 12. Says the Gemara, ani tuvahavion, it's more than 10, it's 12. Sa'ali koilach bas galim, novi hu dekamar lo, because Israel. It's not really a place. So we're going to take off Sa'ali koilach bas galim. Sa'ali koilach bas galim. Bito shel Avram, it's not a place that's a Sanhedrin stop, but rather it's the Navi telling Klal Yisrael, Bito shel Avram, Yitzchak v'Yaakov sh'asu mitzvahs ki gali hayom. The daughter of Avram Avinu, which is Klal Yisrael, they did mitzvahs like the waves in the ocean. Hakshiva li'yaisha, mahaylik tistafi. Don't worry about Sanhedrin. Elo istafi min l'chanetz harasha demotil k'aryeh. Don't worry about Laisha, but be careful of Ariel. We're going to say Laisha is actually a lion, but don't worry about this guy. You have to worry about Nebuchadnezzar. In fact, Sanhedrin didn't do a thing. They all died, but Nebuchadnezzar destroyed Yerushalayim, the Beis Hamikdash. Shenemar Ola Aryeh Mesubchoi. Okay, so says the Gemara, Mai Aniya Anosois. What does it mean? Osid Yirmi ben Chilkiu Mistabe Alo Me Anosis. Daf Tzadik Yom and Aleph on top. Yirmiyah eventually is going to say Nevuah from Anosis. The Chsiv Divrei Yirmiyahu ben Chilkiu ben Akuyelav Shem Anosis be'eretz Binyomin. So the Gemara says we have a little bit of a problem. We just saw the problem. Midomi Hosam Ari Ochalayish. You have a Layish and you have an Ari. It's the Navi calls it 2 different things. What's going on? What is it? In fact, the lion has 6 different names in Navi. Elohein, Ari, Kfir, Lavi. So my sister has 2 sons. That's it, 2 sons. One is Ariel and one is Lavi. My nephews. Lavi comes all the time. He was actually in Shiri like a month ago or so. He comes to my house a lot. So she has 2 lions basically. Ariel and Lavi. Ari, Kfir, Lavi, Laish, Shachal, Shachatz. So Laish and Ari are the same. Yehachi Basrulu. So we have less than 10. You said that he went, what?
Isn't it a lioness? Lavi's a lioness.
Leviya. Leviya is a lioness. Levi might be a Zachar. Huh? Yeah. You see? It's a lion. Kilavi Yakum. Not Yakuma, huh? Why? He says Yakum. Yakum is Lashon is Zachar.
Didn't I tell you to keep quiet?
That's right. So we have less than 10. Says the Gemara, Avru Ma'abara Tartaninu. Avru and Ma'abara, 2 places, not to cross Ma'abara. Avru is 1, Ma'abara is 2. Okay, so Sanhedrin, he stopped at 10 different places. Says the Gemara, "My oid hayom b'noiv la'amoid." So we have to understand, this is the story, the famous story of Noiv Ir HaKayan, a very sad story. David HaMelech ran away from Shaul, and he tried to take refuge by Noiv Ir HaKayan. It was a city for Kayanim. And there was a person there by the name of Doeg, and Doeg saw the whole thing happening, and Achimelech fell basically for what David told him. David said, I'm part of Shaul's people, I need food, I need weapons, and they helped him out. And then Doeg turned around and told Shaul what happened, that the city, they saved David, your enemy. He said, okay, great, so you go, kill out the city. And he went and he killed everybody out, besides one kid. It's a tremendous thing to go kill a whole city of Yidden, of Kohanim. Because Baruch Hu did not like it at all. And therefore, Shaul HaMelech died because of that. His sons died. Doeg, of course, he doesn't have Chelik Leilam Haba. So it says Gemara, but not only that, there's a big Chiddush here. The Chiddush is that even David HaMelech got punished severely. What did he do? So we learn a Yisoid here. There's a lot of Yisoidis in these Gemaras. You have to pay attention. There's a lot of different cool things. It seems like this Aveira of Noiv, there's a limit to it. There's a deadline. Yishmael says, okay, the deadline is this day. Klal Yisrael is going to suffer up until this day because of this Aveira. From that day on, forget it. Amri lei kaldoi. So the stargazers tell Sanhedrin, if you go try to capture Yerushalayim today, you'll be successful. If not, forget about it. Shmuel is here 2 days in a row. It's unbelievable. After today, it's all over. Why? Because Klal Yisrael still deserves a great punishment for Noiv, and today's the deadline. You go tomorrow, you're not going to do it. Today, we think you're going to be Matzliach. The way that would usually take about 10 days, he ran and ran and ran without stopping for a moment and did it all in one day. Imagine an entire army, you're talking about 2.6 billion people moving, or however it is, millions of people. The Gemara says a crazy number. Those who say later on, we'll see in the Gemara, maybe it's an exaggeration, maybe this, but it's a lot of people. When they got to Yerushalayim, they took a bunch of rugs. Let's say every soldier has a rug or two. What do you got on your shirt? Eitan, get over here. What is this? Is there Reb Nachman stuff? What is this? It is? Oh, it says the same word over and over?
On one side is Rabbi Nachman, one side is Rabbi Nasa.
Where's Rebelli?
Coming soon.
Come, get over here. I got to see this. You can sit over here. Not that you call any attention to yourself or anything. Shalom Aleichem Eitan. What's going on? Everything okay?
Yeah.
It feels good too. By the way, the back also says Reb Nachman.
I couldn't see.
Yeah. Let me see. It's the same thing, the front and the back. The front also says Reb Nassan, Reb Nachman. Oh, we didn't chap. Yishkoya. Very good. Whew.
It's always an Eitan causing trouble.
Yeah. Why? Who else? You're Eitan? Oh, Eitan. All right, boys. I hear all the carpets. Every soldier, they put a bunch of carpets until he's able to get over the wall. Now he's above the wall. He sees the entire Yerushalayim. He sees it. He didn't like what he saw. It looked like a very small city to him. This is what I mobilized all my armies. How did I get here? I had to go through all these different countries. I wreaked havoc all the way here. I'm killing people. Anybody that got in the way is dead. And this is it, this little tiny place. This is much smaller than all these other cities that I conquered. He got up and he started shaking his head back and forth. And he went like this to the Beis Hamikdash and the Azara. Amri, hold on. This might be Amri. So they told him, we're here, let's get to business. Let's go, right now, we're here, let's go. Omar Lahu to Mihisu, you're tired. We just came, we did a 10-day trip in one day. Let's not go to war now. Let's go to sleep now. Rabbi says, is that the right thing to say? If you have inspiration, you're there, what do? Daf. You start right away. Grab the moment. You go. He messed up. He didn't know. He didn't know about the side. Lamachar, you don't have a great idea. Let's go to sleep. Well, come, be refreshed. Tomorrow, each soldier will bring one tiny stone off the wall. We'll take one stone. Imagine if you have millions of soldiers, each one takes a little stone. No more wall. We'll walk right in and kill everybody. They went to sleep. Gabriel comes. 185,000 people are dead, which the Gemara says means all the soldiers died. 185,000 generals, not soldiers. Who got up in the morning? Oh, they're all dead. Who's There's only 10 people that were left. 10 people. They looked and they saw that all 185,000 are dead. This is what people say. Bas dina, if you delay the din, batal dina. There is no more din. Rabbi says it's tremendous aside. Do not push it off. If you have inspiration, you're there, you jump in, you go. If you don't, it could be batal. Asher b'yilidei harafa. Umishkal keinu shleish mois mishkal nechoshes. V'yishbi b'noiv. So Yishbi, we're going to see, Yishbi was Goliath's brother. It says he had a spear that was 300 weight of copper. V'uchagur chadasha, he had brand new armor, shiny, sparkling, shiny armor. V'yomer lahakos says David. He said, we got to kill David. Ma'avi Yishbi b'noiv. The man, David, who has a problem because of Noiv. Why or how do we take care of this aver that you have? Now, what was the averet? I don't know exactly what it was. He saw Dayeg and he should have said something. He should have got rid of Dayeg. He knew Dayeg could be a problem. Whatever the problem, there's some sort of HaKadosh Baruch Hu was upset at David for this. Because of you, even though it was Pikuach Nefesh, you had to save yourself, a whole city was killed. You have to pay for this. Even as the time on Doeg. Because of you, Doeg. I mean, that's interesting. Doeg was a Rasha, he went and he snitched. Okay, it's your fault. This whole thing's your fault. And Shalom's 3 sons died. I have 2 options here. What do you want? Would you like that you won't have any children left, or you yourself will die through the enemy? The enemy is going to kill you. I prefer that the enemy gets me and I have a continuation. He went hunting. So the Satan dressed up as a deer. He was hunting deer. He shot an arrow at him and it didn't reach. So the Satan got him to keep on coming closer and closer to the Plishtim, to the enemy. Kept on pulling him. Oh, a little more. All of a sudden, Yishbi sees David. This is the guy. This is my enemy. This is the guy that killed my brother. Kafte, he tied him up. Kamte, he folded him in half. He put him in a olive press. Here we even have a shtickle demonstration how it might look. Of course, not on David, but where is it? Here we go. Now, he didn't die there. He had an ace. The dirt underneath softened up and he went into the dirt. Who else had a similar story like this in history? Rashi's mother. 2 people I heard. Who else said that? Cheater. My Friday night guest. Assalamu alaikum. What's your name?
Yitzi Katz.
From?
Los Angeles.
Shalom. You know the guy? Very chashuv. Wow. And this is who?
Started the Mishmar Thursday nights.
You're the guy that started Mishmar? Really? I know, I was there, but I didn't know you started it.
One of the guys.
This is your kid? Yeah. Moshe, hi. You're staggering away, you know it's flying? It's good, the picture is good. Great. What's your name? We met many times. Okay. Every week, every month of Shabbos. Yeah? Okay. One day we'll get it. Where are we? Oh, Haidel Siv, Tachav Tzadi Tachtoi. The underneath me, V'leimadu Karsuloi, and my heels didn't get fetched. That day was Erev Shabbos. Avishai ben Tzruya have a Choyev Reishay. Who's Avishai Rabboisai? The brother of. Now we can ask. Michal, he knows. Yo, very good. The brother of Yov, and also the nephew of. Very good. His mother was the champion, Nacht champion, I think, and his brother also learns in Mir now. What are they? Number 2, number 1, what are they?
3 in the world.
Number 3, who? Your brother?
Nasi, yeah.
Nasi is number 3 in the world, tremendous genius. And your mom?
No.
Not at all, nothing? What?
She just learns Tanakh.
But she knows about Peh. She never took the Chidon? Oh, you don't know. You weren't there. She did. Ask her. She doesn't know. It's number 1. You just don't know about it. That's what my wife told me. I just go by my wife. Okay, Zog Gemara. It's my wife's cousin. Yeah, exactly. I heard that. He said that's how they write newspapers.
Not just me.
So Avishai ben Tzruya was washing his head with a lot of water. He sees in the water. He sees blood. Now Avishai was the general together with Yoav. Tremendous gadol. He knew that there's something going on here. Looks at there's nothing going on in his head, but he sees blood in the water. It wasn't in the water. There was just a pigeon going crazy, pulling out its feathers, dancing. Omar Knesset Yisrael yoina imsila. So the Klal Yisrael is like a pigeon. Shenemar kanfe yoino nechba bakesef. Look, I'm looking around. Nothing's going on with Klal Yisrael. Must be that the king of Klal Yisrael has some sort of problem. Also, so he knocks on David's door. He's not there. You're not allowed to use the king's possessions, so I can't sit on a seat. I can't use his, what's that, the thing that he did with Esther? Scepter. And I can't use his horse. Now what's the shaila b'shas economy? Of course, b'koach nefesh. You sit on a seat. B'shas economy. Also, shal b'midrasha amrulei b'shas economy shapir dami. You could. Rachvei lepirde. So he took his mule. B'kom v'azel. And he came. B'kovtza li'ara. Here, there's another person in history. Avishai had kfitzas haderech. What is kfitzas haderech, Rabbi Yisai? Does anybody know what kfitzas haderech is? What is it? How do you describe it to the kids? How do we learn it in kindergarten? That's that. That's good. Doesn't it mean like he walks really quick, like he just takes these giant steps? No. My kindergarten teacher didn't teach that.
That's a Rashi Chumash is.
Yeah, Rashi Chumash, but she didn't know Rashi Chumash. What am I going to do?
She said Matzah.
It has to be that what?
Magic carpet.
Yeah, like a magic carpet. But it's the earth folding up underneath you. So the Ben Yehoyada says a very nice thing here. He says that when a tzaddik uses even a simple thing, and he talks about, there's a lot of you have different rebbes have their chairs, after the nifter people sit on it, the Stipler, the Chaim Kanievsky, the rebbes, they have the, in Bells you can see like there's a chair there, I think, that nobody touches. There's a certain kedusha that even regular objects take on because the tzaddik was on. So he says that you see by Rabbi Ben Yair, his donkey had a certain kedusha that it was able to find Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. And that's why Avishai wanted Dafka, the donkey of David HaMelech's donkey. Yeah, he had a horse. He could have gone with his own horse. No. He wanted David HaMelech. How is he going to find David HaMelech? How are you going to find him? Let's go look for him. Where? They took him. He's kidnapped. No. I'll take this donkey. Now, the question is, can I use this donkey on Shabbos? In other words, I have my donkey. I can use my donkey for Pikuach Nefesh. But could I use the king's donkey? Because maybe it'll be better to finding the king. And the answer is yes. Also, show by Midrasha, yeah. Rachvel appeared to become Ozal. Comes to the Yara. Badiko Mazge Chazil Arpa Ime Dahavas Navlo. He saw Yishbi's mother, Arpa, that she was spinning thread, like in today's parasha. Yeah, we had the women that were doing the spinning thread for the Beis Hamikdash. I just thought I remember hearing this long time ago. The famous, I'm just saying it because I thought it was funny. There's a famous woman in America, her name is Oprah. And the reason why her name is Oprah is because her mother didn't know how to write Orpa. She was trying to write Orpa Maisa Shaya. She wrote in the thing, she wrote Oprah instead of Orpa. She's supposed to be Orpa. Oh, I see another, this guy's for sure a guest. Shalom Aleichem guest, how you doing? What's your name? Shalom Aleichem. Nice to meet you. I know you weren't here last week. You see, this guy made a mistake.
Any week.
I know. You see, I'm a genius. I'm getting better at this.
He's my guest.
He's your guest. You force, that's what you do to your guest, Nevach?
Gave me good opportunity.
Wow. Okay, Geshmak, Givaldi. Says the Gemara, she's in the middle of sewing. Ki chazite paskete lepilka. She took this device. Okay, it looks a little, it looks scary. Let's say we take this part, yeah? Has a nice little point at the end, spindle. And she took it, this older woman, she took it, she tried to kill, who was she trying to kill here? Avishai. Trying to kill Avishai. She throws it at him. Now, listen, she's an older woman. I'm not going to make fun of all women when they throw, but okay, it was like, she threw it, and it landed, kind of far from Avishai. Didn't hit him at all. Savar l'mikdala, but she had intent. Her intent was to kill him. Armalei, now she feels kind of stupid. She completely missed, and now she's in danger. So she says, Uleim aisili plach. My spindle fell. Do me a favor. Like, I was trying to put it over there, and it went 50 feet away from me by mistake. Okay, could you please give it to me? Paske berish moicha v'katla. So he threw it right back at her head and killed her with it. She wanted to kill him. Now you die. Now it's my turn. Let's see how good my aim is. And boom, in her head. So now, all of a sudden, Yishbi sees Avishai showing up. Now there's two of them, David and Avishai. Now I'm in trouble. So let me kill David right away. So he throws David up in the air, and he takes his spear and puts it on the spot where David HaMelech is gonna fall. Now, once again, you have the same idea that had he been smart and he would have taken the inspiration, kill him on the spot, great, take the sword and kill him. Why have to throw him up in the air like that? Basically, he threw him up in the air just to toy around with him, and to show the plishtim how strong he is. I'm going with his brother. Look, I'm going to take the king of the Jews and toss him up in the air. So I want to show you a real live example today of a creature which weighs over 500 pounds being tossed up in the air close to 100 feet. Check this out. First of all, let me just show you. This is what we call a great white. Everybody knows about this thing. There's certain people, I'm not going to talk about my wife, but there's certain people that are scared to go into swimming pools because maybe one of these is in there. Now, this is nothing, zero. This is a garnish compared to this guy. This, everybody that went to SeaWorld, these guys, the orca is 100 times stronger than the great white, and it actually goes over the great white, and for a snack, it just rips its, not heart, I think it's liver. It loves its liver. It eats liver, it's chassidish. It's black and white. Just eats its liver and lets him die. So now that you know this, now there's another animal I need to show you. This is a seal. Weighs 500 to 700 pounds. Not a big deal. And now check this out. But you have to look carefully. I'm going to tell you when to look. It almost looks like a bird, but it's not. It's a seal flying over 80 feet. Close to 100 feet. And that's for shtick. They're right about, I'll tell you when. Here now.
They're doing something. Right there.
That's it right over there. You can see it fall. Now it's going to fall. Boom. That was 500 pounds going 80 feet in the air. Off the back foot. Yeah, that was like a little flick. So now we can understand, maybe, just a muscle. He took David HaMelech and tick. I don't know if he went up by 80 feet. Okay, Givaldik. Had everything to do with the sugya. I know. So again, he takes David HaMelech, throws him up in the air. He puts a spear right where he's going to land. Omar nipel alei v'nikta. Let him fall on it and die. Omar v'ishei shem. 2 times in one arm. Don't delay anything. You want to get something done, even if you want to kill somebody, do it quickly. Don't play around. You want to, especially killing. Look, he wanted to take over Yerushalayim. He delayed it a night. That was it. Omar Avishai Shem. So Avishai said the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Oikmin David ben Shemaya Lara, and David stopped in midair. V'nei Elihu. Akum David HaMelech. As he's flying up in the air, he should also say something. There's a concept that somebody that's in jail cannot release himself. Rashi says something about kavana. He wouldn't have the proper kavana. Amalei my boy sacha. Now he's stuck in midair. So Avishai comes over and says, Shalom Aleichem. How's everything doing? How are you? Why are you here? Amalei hacha amalei kudsha brichu. When I was reading it, I started laughing. He's like, could you get me down, please? Like, we'll talk all the pleasantries a little later. No, I'm stuck here midair. So he says. This is what Kosh said. He gave me a choice. Either you die or your kids. We gotta flip it around. Get rid of your generations to come. You need to live. Rabbi said, check this out. This is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, but there's a lot of truth here, and a lot of truth for us as well. It's better that your grandson should sell wax. In other words, it's better that your grandson should be poor. Worry about yourself. So I got to say this. I know the other one doesn't like it so much, so that's why I'm going to say it. B'dafka. That we spend a great time of our day earning money so that we could give to our children and our grandchildren, so that we could provide them and we could give them another house and another this, another that. And I hope my kids are not watching now. I also worked a lot for my children, put away for my children, Baruch Hashem. But you have to think to yourself, why, if it's so important for them to live and have a great life, and what about you? It's not important for you. And what about your father? He also worked and worked and worked. That you should have, and every generation, we're doing for the other generation. Do it for yourself, the Gemara says. Worry about yourself, put away another hour for Torah, another 2 hours for Torah, and your kids will take care of themselves, Be'ezer Hashem. You could help them out. It's not also to help them out. But half a day, you should give away for them. And what do you have afterwards? Huh? Rebbeita, you hear that? People work and work 12, 14 hours a day for what? Take care of yourself. They'll take care of themselves. Nobody died from starvation. Hakol b'seder, but you got to put away from yourself. That's what it says here. Bar Baruch, I know it hurts. I know. But this, everybody take it to their own. I'm not saying just leave your kids in the street, and then you're allowed to help them out with the chasen a little bit. You're allowed to buy them a little, but yesh gvul. Bar Baruch Kira Lisboin, let your grandson. You hear this? Let your grandson sell wax. Vadlit Titztar. In other words, David HaMelech, we need you, Klai Yisrael needs you, you're the king. Don't worry about your grandchildren. But this was real. His grandchildren ended up dying because of this. Do me a favor, help me out. So he helped him out. What does it mean, helped him out? They both davened together, that should work. So Abisha said another name of Hashem, and he brought him down. Havakah Rodiv Basrayu, so Yishbi was chasing both of them. Kimota Kube, when they got to this place called Kubi, Amri Kumbe. In other words, all names have something important to them, and they took it as a sign. Kumbe means let's go, let's gang up against them. Kimota Betray, when they came to a place called Betray, Amri Betray, Gurion, Katula Aria. Two little tiny cubs are going to kill a lion. So of course I need to show you this because I never showed you. This I didn't show. Rabbi said I took this myself. I'm very proud of this. But let me just give you a hagdama. The first time I ever went to safari with my wife, they made a big mistake. They took us. The first thing we saw was this. Basically 13 lions, and most of them were cubs. And since then I've never seen cubs. I went on 4 or 5 safaris. Never seen. It's so hard. It was like beginner's luck. I thought, this is what a safari is. So we'll see it every day. Tomorrow also, what's the big deal? So let's go. Let's keep on going. I didn't chop what they brought us to. They brought us to a place, and there's 4 mothers, I think, or something like that. You'll see all nursing these cubs, and the cubs are going from one mother to the other. It was crazy, and I'm standing right there. I could have picked up a cub and taken it into the Jeep. There we go. So and why am I showing you this? Because it has everything to do with the sugya. I'll explain to you afterwards. This is crazy. You don't get to see this. But I mean, if you go with the MDY trip to the safari, you're going to see this. So anyway, so the Gemara says 2 of these little babies, they can't do anything. Nothing. 0. Now you know why I showed it to you, right? These are the mothers. There's no fathers here. There's no real. But the fathers were like double the size and little. It's garnished. They could jump and hit them in the face. Nothing happens. So they had a great trick. They said, they told Yishbi, your mother is dead. Your mother, Oprah, is dead. They just mentioned, what? My mother's dead? And he lost his strength. And then they were able to overcome him and kill him. And then they told David HaMelech, please don't ever go to war. We need you here. You're very valuable. There's 3 that had Kfir Saderech. Eliezer, the Yaakov Avinu, Avisha ben Shiri. Avisha ben Shiri, what happened on that moron? We just said the story that had Kfir Saderech. Eliezer Aved Avram D'chsiv, Avoy Hayoim Elohim. We know the famous story with Eliezer. He says, I came today. I left today. I came today. Remember that Yoim Nafak to teach us that day he came. I think it was a 13-day trip. He did it in one day. Yaakov Avinu, Daf Yomi Beis, D'chsiv. Vayetzi Yaakov. Miber Shova Ve'el Charana. Uchsiv Vayivga B'Magam Yolin Shom Kiva Hashemesh. Kimot el-Charan, the famous story, everybody knows this, right? Kimot el-Charan, Omar, when he got to Charan, he says, Efshar Varti al Magam Shespalu Be'avoisa V'Ani Lo Yispalati Bo. Is it possible that I passed by the Beis HaMikdash, the Harabayis, and I didn't daven there? Boy Lemehedar, so he wanted to go back. Even that here, B'Daita Lemehedar. Once he thought in his mind to go back, Chavtza Le'aro, he had Kfir Saderech, Miyad, Vayivka B'Mokam. You see over here a very interesting thing. He had to make some sort of move, but even a mental move in his brain. He thought about it, boom, it happened. But you have to think about it. You have to want it. Dovaracher and B'Gia L'Tfilo, no, it doesn't mean Vayivga, that he hit there, but it means that he davened. Shenemar, V'ata al Tispal B'Adam Azeh, V'Atisa B'Adam Rino, Utfilo V'Ativga Bi. See the word Tivga and Tfilo go together. Let's just do the sponsors. Turn of the Daf, Adar Global, experts in international financial services. Doctors, Alan and Barbara Listhouse, in memory of my dear father, Joseph Listhouse, on the 45th yard side. Yosef Ben Ariel of Shalom. Reports Rivka Henyo Bashalam, is the reports that Tinoik, Yechiel Yedid Ben Nechama Shendel, Nala Ariel Ben Shemesh, and Moshe Einhorn, in honor of rebellion, the entire MDY family, Yishur Koyach. Vayolan Sham Kibah Shemesh. So, we know Yaakov had a fight with the Malach, and his hip was dislocated. It's interesting because I'm going through a shtickle hip dislocation these days. Sometimes I limp a little bit, sometimes this, I don't know, all of a sudden. And it's very important because the oil has to down for me because on my way to Pesach, I have to go visit my daughter who lives in Park City. That's one of the chiyuvim, and it's going to be a problem. Sorry, did I just skip this? After he davened, he wanted to go back. Oh my gosh, what? He's going to come here to our base. He's not going to sleep over. So the sun went down. It became dark. He had to sleep there. The sun came up. What the sun came up for Yaakov Avinu and nobody else. It came shine for everybody. Oh, the sun went down, but also came up earlier for him because when he had his hip dislocated, the sun came up and healed him. So to make up so that nature goes back to where it's supposed to be, that's when it happened on Har Bayis. So we know the Kol Azar David. So how do we know that David lost his entire family? There's some that say that means only from Shlomo Melech's sons. This lady Asalyo, she saw that her son died. She went and killed every single descendant of David HaMelech, so that the only person left to take over to rule is herself. But wait a minute, there's one person, Yoash. Says the Gemara, when they killed the entire city of Noiv, they left one kid. So since one kid was left over by Noiv, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu let one kid survive for David. If that son from Noiv wouldn't stay alive, then David wouldn't have a single descendant. I believe that I'm from David. I think most of the people in this room come from David. So imagine if that son didn't, most people are from either Yehuda or Binyomin. And therefore, but I think most are from Yehuda. We have a Ksav Yichus that goes to Machzas Shekel, which goes this, so that's David. Okay. From the 185,000 that died, 45,000 are the sons of Malachim. Yoshim Kronis sitting in these wagons, Shalzav, golden wagons, they brought princesses and zaynas. Why? They were so confident in winning the war that they could bring women with them, women that do nothing. They don't fight. Not a problem. Bring them also. And 80,000 that were wearing armor. And then 60,000 were running in front of him. Bashar and all the other millions were just regular soldiers. Avram Avinu also had that many people coming against him, and he beat them. Now, the numbers that Gemara is going to say, so the only nation that we know right now that has something similar, the India, or China, or both together. 400 parsi. Now, 400 is a Lashon Guzma, Varaya, I saw in the news, over 400 killed in Israel airstrike. So, 400 here. 400 is a shtickle Guzma. A lot of times the Guzma is brought down, it's even brought down in the Achronim, now on this daf. The 400 and 300 is a Guzma, the Gemara talks about it, we'll see tomorrow. Roichav Tzavar Susav Arban Parsi, the width of the necks is 40 parsa, Sach Machneu Mosayim. Oh, and here's the number that nobody's going to understand really. The entire encampment of soldiers was Mosayim Veshisha Riboy Alafim. 2.6 billion people, 2,600,000,000 soldiers. Chaser Chad -1. You like that? Chaser Chad. Now, the way I understood and I saw they say something similar, I'll just explain it in our days. Imagine if you have one soldier that has a M16, he has a machine gun, and he's up against a whole country 2,000 years ago. How many soldiers is he worth? The guy with the machine gun. What? Yeah, he has unlimited bullets. 100 million bullets he has. Let's say he has a tank. Let's say he has one tank, he goes in there. I don't know that you could stop him, because I saw in Los Angeles a guy stole a tank. He started running over motorhomes and cars, and they couldn't do anything. For 3 hours, he's just going and going, killing, and devastation everywhere, going through houses. You saw this thing? No, you didn't see it. Anyway, one tank. Imagine going against the nation. Back then, imagine if he had an F-16. So that's what they say, that Sanhedrin, if he came, he had equipment that Klal Yisrael didn't have. One soldier of his had, the crazy arrow that shoots 25 arrows. I don't know what he had. Crazy stuff it means 2.6 billion in terms of how many soldiers, if Klal Yisrael wanted to beat him, that's how many they would have to have, because he had all this sophisticated stuff. Boy, Abai asked a question, is it missing 10,000? When it says 2.6 billion minus 1 what? 1 riboy, which is 10,000? Or just 1,000? Or 100? Or 2.59999 billion. Minus, it's just one guy missing. They're coming in. They're kicking us out. It's too bad. We got a lot of stuff to accomplish here. There were so many soldiers that went through the water, they swam in the beginning. But imagine a lot of people swimming and it gets into their bathing suit and they take out water and they all come out of the river. Now the river has less water. And so the middle people, there was less water, so they were able to walk across it. The water came to the neck. There were so many soldiers that there was no more water left in the river. They had to bring water to drink from another place. As the Gemara of how did you get to 2.6 billion when the pasuk says Mefurish 185? I'm saying this over at Shabbos. So Michal asked me this question. He says in the pasuk, he knows the pasuk. 185,000 are the generals. And I can prove it. In this book, the fatter ones, the better ones. These are generals, Sorim. Okay. Simple Gemara here. How did Gabriel kill all these 185,000 plus the 2.6 billion, however many there were? He used his hand, he gave him a frask upon him, they all died. With the hand. It's the hand, the future hand. He went like this, he gave him a flick, much less than a hand, but it's nevertheless it's with the finger. This is the future finger that we're going to, Kosh Baruch is going to take revenge on Zechariah. Here, this is the Magol. Is it ready to go? This is an ace that so many millions of people are going to die in one night. This is an ace. This is already from Sheshes Mei Bereshis. My sickle is already sharpened since the beginning of time. This is amazing. Gabriel is in charge of ripening of the fruit. I love this. Listen, tomorrow you're going out to make sure that all the apples are ripe. So do me a favor, there's a little problem over the next Yerushalayim. Give it a little flick, you know what I'm saying? And then continue on with your fruit. This is 2.6 billion, it's not a big deal. 10 million, 100 million, whatever it is, give them a little zets, get rid of them. As he's walking by, Yigaches will take you. Omar Rav Papa. Agav Urchoch Lebaldvav Ishtama. As a side thing, as you're walking by, you tell your enemy something, you keep on walking. He blew into their nose, so it wasn't even a finger, it wasn't a smack, it was a breath. It was just air. He clapped his hands and they died. I'm not even going to say the joke with the slapping the hands because everybody's waiting now. A different time. Because the other one's not going to laugh anyways. So what happened was that, look, in the ear right now, how many millions of waves do we have? Movies, songs, everything. Just we don't hear it. You need the right equipment to hear it. When the Malachim sing Shira, it's in this room. We just don't hear it. We don't have the Sakash Baruch Hu or the Malach. He did a thing that he turned on their ears. And now they're able to hear it. Boof, and they died from the kedusha of it. I used to own a sleep lab in New York back a long time ago. So I had to learn about sleep. So one of the things that I learned, I think it's very obvious, and I think a lot of people know this, but it's geschmack to know. When you go to sleep, you close your eyes, so you don't see light. When you go to sleep, nothing closes your ears. So in fact, you hear every single noise the same way that you would hear when you're up. Just the brain does a certain thing that it says, this noise is not important, this noise is not important. Oh, your name? Oh, that's important. Here, listen to that one, get up. Or your alarm, whatever it is. But you hear everything. The sirens in the middle of the night. You hear everything the same way that you are. So Mela, that's what's going on. Your ears are open. Nothing changed. You didn't change. He just gave you the ability to hear it. Goyim, Rabboisai, have a great week. A good Voch. We'll see you tomorrow bright and early at 7:10.